It will also help you to implement various practices in terms of corporate governance, independent directors, restructuring, transparency, transactions, all these, which really will help us to move to the main goal in a very seamless way. Few years from now. Yeah, we are looking to do that. If our plans go well in 3 to 4 years time, we should be again be the first company moving from NSE SME Platform Emerge to the main.
What's the difference between the one that is platform offered by BSE and that's what we always say? Yeah, anything better than Ravina and answer that.
Yeah.
Let's just be coming.
Yeah, first part. See, we started as a service provider. We were into services. What we were doing is, we were maintaining the conveyors, which is like the nerve center of all core sector industries like steel plants, power plants, cement plants, all these where the huge conveyors are there. We were maintaining those conveyor systems 365 days with various industries all over India. We have the major market share in this sector. After few years doing this service, we found the materials needed is very critical. So we started our own manufacturing unit. So we not only for captive consumption and the balance capacity, we used to manufacture related products for the same customers, and we have been selling. A part of our products are also exported. Today our turnover constitutes about 50% from services, 50% from product sales. Out of this product sales, almost 25% is from exports. Okay. But
Our company can be, we assist the core sector industries, we do the support service, engineering services. But we also manufacture it, and now you can do it. Earlier,
UK सिने वाले बाइक्स ला इनको क्लास में
single digit. We manufacture which are needed by the same industry, related products. For example, we manufacture cleaners, which we use in badminton bags. We also manufacture products relating to mineral processing. We also manufacture and execute projects related to corrosion protection or rubber related. Okay, issue was the price band was between 402 and 430. That was the price band. And we had institutional 50%, institutional qualified institutional investors 50%. They had applied at 402. The retail investors, bulk of them, had applied at 430, more than 90%. Since the institutional portion was 402, regulators have fixed it as 402.
सर अपना लगा पसंद नहीं आया
Please tell me. You should know that being NSE, you did not. Yeah. 40,000 shares there. Anyhow, say anyhow, our job is to make the money what we have raised to work well and make better returns to the investors. Capital market, of course, NSE we service BSE. The reason, but mainly because we believe NSE is technical platform. Second, today they have a very competent team which we have experienced with the coalition. We found it, and they look for quality. They demand more than what is mandatorily required. Like creating of the view. It is not mandatory for an SME, but we did that due diligence for the company. So these results ensures quality, but when quality, we ensure that the handhold of the whole thing. That's what I said. From the SME platform, till this platform was there were two options for us. One, we could have gone to the main platform. Main platform today, the cost of issue is so high. Your capital you are ready to be substantially high, which again you can plan for some kind of diversification to justify that capital, and you may not be able to focus on it. This will help you to screen. I have mentioned earlier, in 3 years time we go to the main platform, which needs only pardon? Yeah, sorry. No, we have to give a rate of return, otherwise the market will punish us. Yeah. In terms of, see, as an academician, I will say capital is the costliest. Okay. But if we look at our present situation, this capital will help us to improve our rating, which will reduce our borrowing cost. Okay. And also help us to leverage on this enhancement.
Excuse me.
How much will be the reduction? We expect about 5%. Our issue size was 21 crores. It was also spread for 6 times.
Is there any difference in terms of the governance standards or listing requirements within NSE and BSE for SME?
I didn't compare those two. Okay. But what I can say from NSE experience is whatever governance needed for main platform has already complied by us, though it is not mandatory. For example, we don't need to have rating of the issue, but we need that. But what we have done, we have for a main board listing. Yeah. Okay, I think, thank you very much. Thank you very much.
Mic there.
Mr. Narayan, what is the number you're looking at in the SME? How many companies do you expect in this, say, 1 year, 5 years?
Well, as we try to interact well, we've been very careful and deliberate in ensuring that the high quality companies come out that they get a fair amount of hand-holding support that they appear to require. So, in a sense, it's a bit of a process we are discovering, and that will guide how many we can get on at any period of time. There are actually quite a decent number in the pipeline.
What is the number of companies?
Hand-holding support, the kind of feedback that we got from the community at large was that please don't rush to bring companies on the platform and investors come in and then they get disappointed, and that should not tarnish the entire Emerge platform. So that's why, as I said, we've been very deliberate and very steady on this. But certainly you will see at least several new companies within the next few weeks. That much I can certainly assure.
Is there any critical mass?
No, there's no critical mass. As I said, it's really about helping these companies raise capital, with the kind of risk capital.
Sir, this is Shrivats from Business Line newspaper. Couple of questions. One, can you take us through the SME exchange model that you have adopted, and how different is it from the yield markets elsewhere, say in London? And what is the kind of aspiration that you have? Third question is, why did NSE form a separate company, and why have you settled for a platform within an existing exchange?
Okay, so let me just say a couple of words and then request Chitra to say a little more in detail. But the last part is somewhat the easiest, It was a very conscious decision that it shouldn't be a separate platform, because as I said, the kind of support that this needs requires that to happen. So it was very important for us that a separate company has its own challenges, right? So it was very important for us to provide that kind of hand-holding and support for SMEs. And you heard the Honorable Finance Minister that the kind of numbers that are seeking risk capital in this country is very, very large, and therefore we need to be very deliberate in supporting it.
So just to sort of add to what Nikhil's already shared in the opening answers, the universe of SMEs who can be addressed is huge. So what is it that we should really look at when we provide an SME platform? Clearly, it has to be something that subserves all stakeholders' interests. On one hand, it has to subserve the issuer, which is the SME entrepreneur. Second, it must subserve the investors who come into the SME platform. And third, the intermediaries. Unless a platform is able to meet all stakeholders' interests, it cannot be self-sustaining. And so, in some sense, if we reflect back and see, many of the efforts that we possibly have taken in the past have come from only one stakeholder's interests, and therefore it doesn't sustain if all the others' interests cannot be kept alive and active for a long period of time. So when we did a lot of engagement with all the three stakeholders, from the issuer side, what really came out was the cost is a big issue for any SME entrepreneur to really come out and make a small ticket issue. Unless the cost is worth the while, he is not going to come and use this platform. Second, it is too much effort for the SME to actually grow from where they are to a listed entity to be able to ongoing then engage and meet the expectations and aspirations of all the different stakeholders. Now, just from these two, it was clear to us that we cannot merely play a standard exchange role of saying that you come to us and we will list you. It was very important for us to go where the issuer see how to create that ecosystem that helps him migrate from where he is to come to a position where he can raise capital. Second, how do we optimize the cost of raising for the SMEs? A lot of the things that we have really done in the Emerge platform, which is, for example, around the due diligence, around the CRISIL rating of the issue. You heard the radio entrepreneur also mention it. All of this was, on one hand, to build the confidence for the investor that, assets that come into this platform are top-class assets. Second, it also helped the entrepreneur make that migration from where he is to come to a situation where he can make a listed offering. So it really involved us creating an ecosystem around the SME. Third example, once a stock is listed, there has to be a good entry-exit for investors in that stock, so some liquidity has to be created. At the same time, market making cannot be an onerous, one-sided kind of an obligation on the intermediary. How do you create that ecosystem? So the nominated investor concept really, which the institutions helped us create, which is the IDBI, SIPI, and the bank and others. It really brought that institutional support to the market making mechanism. Third, the call option mechanism through which the SME will run. See, so these were all really learnings for us, looking at the pain points for the issuer, the intermediaries, and we will